Hello, welcome to this YouTube video. I'm just in the second bedroom right now, so it's a bit of a mess, but I wanted to talk to you guys about business in this video. Okay, I have some notes on my phone here. A bit of context, I have currently right now two businesses. One is e-commerce and one is a retail shop. So the retail shop has been open for about 7 months now, and my online business I've been running for about 5 years. This video is not for people who have made millions of dollars, okay? That's not me. But I do think it's going to be very helpful advice for you if you're starting your small business journey and you haven't made, like, say for example, $100,000 yet. Learn from me, because I wish I found a good mentor for myself when I was starting my businesses. There's a lot of content out there, but I feel like a lot of this advice video kind of stuff is so hard to actually follow because it's from people with like $1 million brands and they're just so far ahead, and it's like they're talking in a language that I don't even understand. Sorry if there's like kids noises in the background. There's always children playing in the area. So the first piece of advice I have for you, and the first mistake that I made, was not prioritizing cash flow. What does this mean? Like, I feel like people don't understand what that means. Cash flow is when money comes into your account and it leaves your account, okay? So when I'm buying stock for my small business, okay, so my beauty products, early on the mistake that I made was worrying about the cost per unit. So thinking about my margin, being like, oh, okay, I gotta like get the highest margin I can possible so that obviously I can afford to pay myself, bills, etc., tax, whatever. While it is important, you should be thinking about your cash flow. So many businesses, doesn't matter how much money you make, if you do not think about your cash flow, you're gonna run out of money. If there's no operating money in your bank account, you can't operate your business unless you're gonna keep putting in money. You gotta be doing a cash flow chart, and I did not do this for like 5 years, okay? I only recently did one. You gotta be able to predict how much money is coming into your account, and then also predict and know how much is gonna leave your account, because that's just the way it is. You're going to be spending a lot of money, and money is going to leave your account really fast, and you don't want to run out of it. So what does this mean practically? For me, because I'm selling products, it means I need to focus on selling faster and getting a faster turnaround rather than maximizing the margin per unit. Say for example, instead of ordering 500 pieces because my supplier is going to give me a better like discount for that, I'm going to order 200 pieces because I'm going to sell out of that faster. I'm going to recoup my money back faster. So that's very simply what the cash flow advice is. Like, I have put myself in a hole because I've had to take on debt and stuff like that to pay for things because I was not thinking about cash flow. And even though I was making so much money per month, like $20,000, $30,000 per month, it didn't matter because it would also just fly away. It'd be like, why is my bank account $0 again after I made all that money, you know? So the second tip I have for you is email marketing. Every single person has received an email from like a brand or a business before, right? That's what it is basically. The thing is with your social media, like if you have followers on Instagram or on TikTok, like that's all great and stuff, but your email audience is your own audience. Like, you have that data that belongs to you, and it's extremely powerful. So you need to be emailing your audience once a week at least. Like, I didn't really like to do it, and I always feel like I'm like spamming them. I guess the whole way to avoid that is to make sure that they want to subscribe and that you are putting out valuable content, and it is someone you are engaging with just as importantly as you are focusing on TikTok and social media and things like that as well. Like, you make it an email that they want to actually open. I used to use Klaviyo. I only recently just switched to Omnisend. Would advise you use Omnisend instead because it's so much cheaper and so much more user friendly. So get your email marketing going. Make sure you install an email app and send emails. The third mistake that I made was buying a car with my business. I took a loan for it. I'm still currently trying to sell it. Do I regret it? No. But it was also a mistake, so don't do it. Like, for me, because I got my license really late into my adulthood, I wanted to get my license and then buy a car just to prove I could do it. But it's such a bad drain on your business cash flow, so don't make any vanity purchases like myself, things that you feel like that'll make me look good, feel good. Just don't do that, because the reason why I'm trying to sell my car is because the cash flow drain is really bad, and I want to be putting more money aside in my operations account, or giving it to myself, paying myself an earner wage instead of paying insurance, the loan, servicing, blah 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 blah. Buying my car, although very slay, she's a convertible, she's slay, not a very good financial decision because of the cash flow thing. Again, back to point number one. Point number two is reinvesting everything and barely paying yourself. Treating owner's pay as optional is kind of a common thing that happens with business, I feel, because especially small businesses, like it's so hard to get, you know, your first sale even, right? Let alone making enough money to give yourself a decent wage. So you're always gonna have to work a different job, things like that. For me, I definitely should have paid myself a lot earlier. I should have thought about how much money do I need to live, and I should be focusing on bringing that money into my own personal bank account rather than just constantly refunding more and more stock, and then you're just working for free for like ages. And that's what I have been doing for the last few years. I've literally had to, you know, work different jobs and only recently quit to do this full time. But it's like something you really need to focus on. Pay yourself. You got to figure out of all the money that's coming into your bank account, how you're going to give that to yourself and still have enough left over to pay bills, expenses, BAS, your suppliers, everything like that, your fees. Okay. Number 5 is running the business on vibes rather than forecasting. It's better to plan many months ahead. For me, my business Cloudicos especially has been very much a creative venture, and I've always wanted to do that like because it's my passion. But as we've grown, it's grown so much, which I'm so grateful for, but it's no longer like a vibes business for fun hobby. I have to be planning like for upcoming bills, stock payments, tax time, which all has killed me a few times when I had like next to nothing in my bank account left, and then like a tax bill arrived. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna put more money into my business just to keep things going. And that just goes back to the whole cash flow thing. You gotta be forecasting, you gotta be thinking about what season you're in, you know, any special occasions coming up, if it's tax time, if it's a sale time, da-da-da. Okay, number 6 is hiring incorrectly. This was a really big mistake. I've definitely wasted money on wages where I should not have. I've interviewed people, and this is maybe a personal thing, but I hire like a bit too much on like whether I like this person or not, and I really don't want people to feel bad whenever I'm working with someone. So my default, unfortunately, is to be like, yes, I love you, let's bring you on board. But no, you need to hire super slow and fire fast. That is a big takeaway. Once you get to the point where you are getting help for your business, hire them slowly, interview them properly, make sure your goals are aligned, make sure that their personality and like work ethic is beyond their best selves, which they present to you for the interview. I've had people rock up for amazing interviews and then like literally their first shift not give a flying F, okay? Like, what's going on there? And then if that happens, you need to be able to be like, see ya. You need to protect your business, it's your baby, fire fast. So hire slow, fire fast. And that way you're gonna have good staff members and a team that actually cares about your business, which you would as well. And you want to be able to grow with them and like have a good working team environment. So number 7, not building systems. So what is a system? What is a standard operating procedure? Okay, it's an SOP. It goes hand in hand with your staff. You have like so much information in your head as a business owner. For me, my brain's kind of like has a really big capacity for remembering what I need to do and how to do things, but you need to put that thought into like a PDF. Okay, what that means is, okay, I know in my head if I'm making a TikTok how long that video is gonna be, what are the captions gonna look like, when do I put music, what kind of music do I use, da 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 da. Now, these things you think in your head, but you need to write that down so that your business can run without you one day. So say I hire, you know, girly, for example, Jessica comes into the job, like I just pass her the PDF and she's ready to go, rather than me have to retrain her from my own brain. And every single step of the business that you do on the everyday needs to be documented, and you might not realize how many things that you do in your own head and like how many things need to be put into a PDF, like a document or a presentation or something like that. It's a standard operating procedure so that any person that you hire can come in and do that job better than you, so that you as the owner and the director of the company can focus on growing the business, new concepts, like bringing it to the next level rather than working in the business. Okay, so you're working on the business as a business owner. You want to be doing the growth things. You don't want to be doing all the daily everyday tasks, like how to respond to a customer service email. Okay, this customer wants a refund. What do? You write that down. How do you do it? And then document all that procedure so that one day when the time comes you can get someone to do it effectively and you don't have to have everything in your head. Number 8, when it comes to product development, you don't know, but the customers will tell you. So don't commit to large runs. I've definitely done this with Cloudicos. I have definitely purchased too much stock of something I thought would slay a few too many times, okay? I didn't learn this lesson till a little bit too late. One of the lippies that I designed, no one liked it for some reason. I thought it was awesome. You just don't know. So do like a test batch and monitor supply and demand. You know, get the pre-orders going, you know, get the wait list going. See what the social media, you know, feedback is like before you commit to a large run. Okay, so do the sampling, do the small runs, don't commit too much. And that goes back to your cash flow thing. Don't make that same mistake as me, because I spent so much time just trying to clear poor selling inventory when I could have just not done that and realized very early on it wasn't going to sell well in the first place. Saved myself a headache and done something new. Oh, I just got an order. Just do something more worthwhile. Number 9, this is kind of opening a shop specific tip, not e-commerce. But if anyone ever wants to open their dream shop like me, I've always wanted to open a store, okay? My number 1 tip for you is to take your time finding that shop. Girl, I got so excited. I found it. It was beautiful. It was open. It was ready to go. The agent's like, yeah, so slay, and I signed a lease that is so expensive. Currently, I'm still thugging it out, okay? The rent for your shop, your dream store, is going to be the biggest ongoing expense that you're going to commit to for the whole duration of your lease. So for me, it's 2 years. Girl, take your time, because right now across the road from my shop there's one that's half the price. If my shop was currently half the price, like, I would be making so much more profit for myself, right? But instead I've got a massive monthly rental commitment. So don't get overexcited. Do some pop-ups to trial first, a couple pop-ups, you know, this and that, before you ever do a commercial lease like I did and go a little bit too excited with the whole like signing up the lease. Okay, plan things through thoroughly and try to get the lowest rent you can. I guess the final 10th tip is to confront your numbers on the regular. You want to have an accountant as soon as possible. You want to have your accounting software set up as soon as possible, because the second you start making money, it's gonna get complicated. I try to do it. I try to get my mum to do it. She's not a qualified accountant for a couple years. Could have saved myself so much headache. Just spend the money, get a really good accountant, let them manage things for you, and look at your numbers every day, okay? What's your balance sheet look like? What's your profit margin looking like? You know, how does your bank account look, you know? Confront your numbers on the regular. I love glitter, okay? I'm not exactly doing a business that's very mathematically oriented. I'm just trying to sell makeup, have a good time, build a fun community, have a vibe. And yet now I've had to teach myself so many business skills, especially when it comes to finances. And I dropped maths in year 10, okay? I hated maths that much. I did 4 years of English instead in high school. If you are like me, if you want to start a business with a passion, you've got a concept, you have a vision, there's only so much you can do based on vibes and community and your love and passion. You need to be looking at your numbers regularly and monitoring that. Okay, so that's gonna wrap up my top 10 mistakes that I've made running my businesses. A lot of people ask me for business advice. I'm not the most qualified person there is out there, but I feel like if you are in a similar journey to me, like there's a lot of small aspiring founders similar to me, you'd probably benefit from this video so much. I'll probably make a video as to the top 10 things I did correctly for my businesses, so that you can also do those exact same things that I have done to achieve a certain level of success. But let me know if there's anything in particular you want me to, you know, talk through more, comment whatever you want to see next. I really do wish that, you know, you are successful in your small business journey and you can learn from my mistakes, because I'm still on my journey. I'm not coming from a place of, you know, multi-million-dollar success, but I think that might make this whole thing a little bit more relatable and down to earth. Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna keep doing videos once a week, and let me know what you want to see next. I'll let you guys go now. Bye. Thanks for watching.